All right, boys and girls, it is that time of the week where we go ahead and make ourselves a full guide video on this weekend's update. And as you guys can tell, today is the Golden Tides update. We've got a lot of stuff to go over, so I don't want to waste any more time. If you're interested in looking at the Robux, I'll be covering that later on, closer to the end of the video. To start things off, we're going to focus on some of the brand new content, as well as helping you guys get the 3 brand new rods. So let's start off with the main sort of event here being Dr. Glimmerfin. If you make your way over to Moosewood, over here on the right hand side where the Fish Fright event was going on, you will find Dr. Glimmerfin, where if you talk to him, he will go ahead and basically tell you about this big old plan that he has on building an entire laser machine to be able to take out the Golden Tides and all of this crazy stuff. But at the end of it all, he has a goal for you, and that goal is to go ahead and collect 4 different types of algae that randomly spawn throughout the entire world. The 4 locations that this spawn is Forsaken Shores, Snowcap, Mushgrove, as well as Ancient Isles. So if you look right here, I have one of every single one of these, and this is basically what they're going to look like as you go ahead and progressively find them. When these do spawn in all of these different areas, there's only going to be a total of 1 or 2 of them available. Very similar to how it was back when the Fish Fright event happened, where ingredients would spawn in an island. Whoever got to them first was the person that got them. The only difference here is that you will be fishing for these. So I guess what I'm basically trying to say is good luck doing this in a public server. Either way, once you've gone ahead and collected them, you will make your way back to Dr. Glimmerfin, speak to him where he will say, "Hello, traveler, were you able to find anything?" At this point, you go ahead and just tell him, yes, take a look, and he's going to play this entire cutscene. This is where things get really crazy, because the entire thing just sort of goes into play where the boat starts shooting the laser. It quite literally is exactly to the T what we predicted in our little prediction video that I made yesterday. But yeah, pretty much this is what happens. You go ahead and look at this. All of this crazy stuff happens. Laser machine will pretty much go ahead and break, and then it says that's what we needed, and then we just say nice, and that's pretty much it. After that, you talk to him again, and he pretty much says a couple of other things where he goes ahead and hands you the keys to his boat. So now you've technically officially unlocked the Dr. Glimmerfin's boat, exactly the one that we just saw in the cutscene. Very cool looking boat. Not exactly the best stats, but it is a really cool looking boat, especially for those of you that maybe haven't been able to get a yacht or something like that because of just how expensive they are. Oddly enough, I'm pretty sure that this boat has even more seats than a yacht, which is just insane. Now, I do want to go ahead and clarify that the reward that you just saw is the final reward that you're going to be getting. Before that, you will also be getting your hands on the Firework rod. I've sort of just been working on this pretty much for the last couple of hours, so unfortunately, there is a little bit of bugs that there was before. This is now pretty much like the final build. So I guess it unfortunately counted pretty much everything else that I did before, and I didn't realize until just right now. But anyways, here's the brand new Firework rod. Again, this is obtainable by just completing Dr. Glimmerfin's quest. Lure speed on this is 35%, luck is 45%, control 0.15, resilience 15% with a max kg of 25,000 kg. The really interesting thing is the passive ability. It says a rod imbued with festive magic. 15% chance for Firework mutation, which is a 3.5x sell price, and it reduces the whale progress speed by 20% and gives a plus 0.2% for the whale encounter rate. That now transitions us to the next portion of this video, being the Golden Tide pools. You've probably been noticing that at the top of my screen, every so often, there's a thing that says there's a Golden Tide pool. If we head on over here to the bestiary and click on the tab at the top that says limited fish, there is now a Golden Tide bestiary available for a limited time. Again, very similar to the Fish Fright event, this is going to have a bunch of limited fish that are available, but more specifically, the final one over here being the whale is really cool because it's basically like the new Nessie. And unless you have the Firework rod, it's going to be quite a bit of a challenge to be able to get this whale. Now, for some reason, there is no Golden Tide available all of a sudden, but just give me 1 second and we'll get one to spawn. In the meantime, while we wait for the Golden Tide event to go ahead and spawn, let's talk about the brand new hourly event that's going to be happening, being the brand new sunken treasures. Again, these are going to spawn every single hour, and it'll be announced inside of the server where they spawn. Once they spawn, you just go ahead and walk up to them, open up the treasure, and inside of these, you will have a bunch of different things. Bunch of different totems, money, as well as bait. But most importantly, there is one reward that you can get out of this, which is completely RNG, and that is a brand new fishing rod. Specifically, the rod that I am talking about is this one right here called the Auroric rod. Lure speed on this is 20%, luck 25%, control 0.05, resilience 20%, 20% with a max kg of 2,500. Now, I know that a lot of you are probably like, wow, that is incredibly mid. The reason for this is because of the passive ability that it has. It says a rod forged with many valuable gemstones. Fish caught with this rod have a random sell value between 2 and 6x. So yeah, a pretty powerful rod when it comes to actually making money, but unfortunately, because it does have the ability of making so much, it sadly suffers in the stats category. Also, I know that we're kind of everywhere right now, but I do want to show you guys what those algae look like. If you notice, the snowcap one went ahead and spawned over here. There's 2 out of 2 available, and you know exactly how many are left at that pool because the number on the left-hand side will start ticking down every time that one is caught. But yeah, it's fairly simple. You just go ahead and stand right here and fish and just hope and pray that you actually catch one. So right here, this is the golden tide pool, exactly what you're going to be looking for. And this is the only location where you will be able to go ahead and fish for all of the limited time fish that I just previously shown you. Now, of course, to increase the likelihood of you being able to get the whale, you need to make sure that you are using the firework rod. To my knowledge, you are able to get the whale even without it, but apparently it's just like a really super rare chance. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I was told that it's somewhere along the same chances as getting a Nessie, assuming you took part in the Fish Fright event. Now, I don't exactly know if this is going to be changed once the update actually goes live for you guys, but as of right now, the tide pools stick around usually for about 10 minutes. So if you open up your bestiary and go to limited fish, then go to golden tide, you'll see the timer on the top right hand side. Again, this could change when you guys see it, but for the time being, it's usually between 10 to 7 minutes from what I've seen. All right, so now that we've gone ahead and gotten the 2 events out of the way, let's go over the real big boy here. As many of you know, for the last couple of days, we've been talking about it here on the channel, the addition of the evolved relic. Turns out that's not the name that they went with, and instead this is called the Exalted relic. Using the Exalted relic will allow you to put exalted enchants on your rod. In total, there is 7 brand new exalted enchants, which we will be going over every single one of them. But before we do that, let's make our way over to Mushgrove so that I can show you guys how to unlock the brand new rod of the exalted one. Once you arrive here to Mushgrove, we're going to make our way over to one of the oldest known secrets in this game, being the hidden elevator. This area has pretty much been in the game since it released, and there was rumors going around that it was used as a brine pool testing area, which I believe is somewhat accurate, mainly because there was a brine pool at the very end of it. But as of right now, it is no longer that. Instead, it is going to be the area where we go ahead and unlock the rod of the exalted one. So once you arrive here and you see this little cutout in the wall, just go ahead and walk right through it. On the other side will be the elevator. Jump inside and make your way down. Once you arrive down here, you will be met with all of the pedestals, as well as even more of them, which we saw back in the depths update to unlock the Rod of the Depths. I'm sure you guessed it at this point, but yes, you're going to need a total of 7 different relic mutations in order to go ahead and unlock this rod. Now, you don't exactly need the Rod of the Exalted one in order to get exalted relics. You can fish these up completely random and the same exact way that you would be able to fish for a regular enchant relic. But having this rod will go ahead and increase the odds of you getting those relics. Besides that, it also is a really cool looking rod with some pretty decent stats. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys. To accomplish this, you're going to need a crystallized enchant relic, a hexed enchant relic, a greedy, translucent, Atlantean, mosaic, as well as fossilized. Once you've gone ahead and gathered all of those, just click on the relic, walk up to the corresponding pedestal, and just place it inside. So first one will be hexed, next one will be crystallized. After that, we have greedy, then we have translucent, then Atlantean, and fossilized, then finally the mosaic. And there we go. You went ahead and unlocked the Rod of the Exalted one. As you can see over here, the lure speed is 55%, luck 200%, control 0.15, resilience 20%, with a max kg of 100k. If you read the passive, it says exalted relics now have a 2.5 times higher chance to be caught. As I mentioned, it is actually a really cool looking rod. This now leads us into the next thing, being the brand new exalted enchant. Let's assume that you've gone ahead and either potentially gotten the brand new exalted one, or you just decided to skip over that and you naturally got yourself an Exalted relic just by fishing with a regular rod. As I'm sure you guys have already seen a bunch of times, especially if you are a normal viewer of mine, this is what it's going to go ahead and look like, and it is fairly straightforward. It works the exact same way as a regular enchant relic. You make your way over to the altar, only at nighttime, you use it here, and it's going to go ahead and place one of the brand new ones. Specifically, what we got now is Invincible, which allows us to fish in any body of liquid. If you have no idea what that means, it basically means that you can go ahead and use this rod inside a volcano, for example, if you really wanted to, or it also allows us now to finally use different rods to catch the spectral serpent. This is a huge game changer and actually super crazy. So it's going to be interesting seeing a lot more people get the spectral serpent. But let's head back to the altar and let's show you the rest of them. All right, so if you take a look over here, the next one that we have is called Immortal. If you look down here in the bottom, it says increases luck by 75%. All right, next one up is going to be Piercing. This one says rod has a chance to stab fish while reeling in. This one is really exciting and one that I'm sure a lot of you are going to like, because basically it now allows you to go ahead and turn every single rod in the game into a trident rod or the no life rod. If you guys remember, it has that little slash effect in the bottom. That's basically what this does. So if we sort of I don't even know if it's going to happen because it literally catches everything so fast. This rod is actually insanely good. But if you notice right there, it just did the slash. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It now allows us to turn this into a trident, which is a huge W in my book. All right, next enchant is called Anomalous. This one says caught fish have a 10% chance to be duplicated and anomalous. I'll just give you guys a quick little example. This is what an anomalous mutation looks like. It's actually really cool looking, and it's sort of similar to the ones that you can get inside of the Golden Tides. Because if you take a look over here, I actually have a Aurora's cod that I caught inside of the Golden Tides, as well as an Arulian salmon, which I believe is what it's called. This mutation looks crazy. And there's actually a couple of other ones, if I'm not mistaken, like this one over here. Not sure how it's pronounced, but it says like Aruriate sea bass. They're basically more or less the exact same. They just sort of have different colors. Now, just for comparison, over here, we get a price value on this guy. He is valued at 1,915. Now, I'm kind of curious how much a Megalodon that's anomalous actually is worth. So this bad boy is valued at 22,095. Not too bad, to be honest. Either way, moving on, the next mutation is called Quantum. This one says caught fish have a 25% chance to be subspace. I'll give you guys an example. This is what a subspace Megalodon looks like. It's kind of insane, I'm not gonna lie. The anomalous was 22,000. This one is valued at 41,750. So subspace is actually pretty good. And with it being a 25% chance, that now means that this mutation is probably better than Heavenly. Looks like we got ourselves a new meta. Next up, we have the Mystical Enchant. This one increases your resilience by 45%. So you got yourself a new little resilience one for those of you that are maybe not that good at catching stuff. And finally, for the Exalted Enchant, we have the Sea Overlord. This one makes fish 25% bigger. Really, the ones that stood out to me there are probably Piercing as well as Quantum. Those seem like the ones that a lot of people are going to be going after. For the non-Exalted enchants, it seems like only one was added, which is Herculean. I could be wrong. Maybe there was a couple more, but I believe that this is the only one that was added. So you can obtain this enchant with any of the enchant relics that are obviously not Exalted. But this increases the strength by 25,000 kg, which technically means that it should also unlock the ability for some of the rods that are in the game right now to be able to catch Megalodons again. But yeah, man, as far as the free content, that is pretty much everything. It is actually quite the beefy one for this update. I didn't even go over some of the stuff that you can catch inside of the Gold Tide because I am sort of on a tight schedule as I'm getting these out for you guys. I will be live if you guys want to see us potentially go after the whale and to pretty much do this entire thing all over again. The only final thing that I'm going to go ahead and show you guys, which I did sort of show it at the very start of the video, is the brand new pack that was introduced. You have the Wave Crest Lantern, the Dreadspire Bobber, as well as the Sea Pegasus boat. Really cool looking boat, honestly, and kind of funny because it's literally a Hellcat, which is even funnier. But yeah, it's definitely one of the more cooler looking ones. Not really the most insane stats, considering it is only 180 speed. But besides that, if we scroll down, you guys will notice that there is 2 limited time skins that were added, one of which is finally a Heaven's Rod skin. This one will be only available for the next week, and this is basically what it looks like right here. More or less the exact same. The only difference is that it's like orange and a lot brighter now. It actually looks really cool, I'm not gonna lie. But again, I'm not here to judge your finances. If you want to purchase this, go for it. If you don't, don't. The other one mentioned here, which is a quantity-based one, not a time-based one, is the depth growler. This one is obviously for the Rod of the Depths, and it just basically goes ahead and turns your Rod of the Depths green. Really glad to see that they sort of changed the entire UI here, making it a little bit easier to understand everything, and it isn't sort of like a gamble now to figure out which skin is for which rod. But yeah, man, besides that, you obviously have your bobbers down here, and with that, that's pretty much everything for this update. Hopefully this guide goes ahead and helps you guys. I'll probably have more in-depth videos during the weekend, as well as obviously during the week. We got a lot of stuff to go over, a lot of different testing to do, and of course we need to chase after some of these brand new limited fish, specifically that whale. So good luck to every single one of you on getting the Eternal Frost Whale. Actually super cool looking, man, and it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge to go ahead and get it. Either way, with that being said, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you out, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We cover all types of different fish stuff, and we upload daily videos. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one or during the stream. Take care.